My name is Cameron, and I need to tell you about the night that started with an innocent request and ended with my entire life being turned upside down. This is a story about crossed boundaries, hidden feelings, and the moment everything I thought I knew about myself came crashing down. But let me start at the beginning. I was 26, working as a personal trainer at a high-end gym in Los Angeles. The job was physically demanding, 12-hour days, back-to-back clients, constant demonstrations. By the end of each day, my muscles screamed in protest. I tried everything: foam rolling, ice baths, professional massages when I could afford them. But the pain in my shoulders and back had become constant, a dull ache that never fully went away. My roommate Theo had moved in 3 months earlier. We'd found each other through a roommate matching app. Both of us needed affordable housing in an expensive city. Both of us worked demanding jobs. Both of us valued our space. He was a physical therapist, which I'd thought was lucky. We'd have a lot to talk about, given our overlapping fields. Theo was 28, tall and lean, with dark curly hair and these intense hazel eyes that seemed to see right through you. He was quiet, thoughtful, the kind of person who listened more than he talked. In 3 months of living together, we developed an easy friendship, cooking dinners together a few nights a week, watching movies on weekends, the occasional deep conversation after a few beers. I never thought of him as anything more than a friend and roommate. I'd always dated women, had a few serious relationships, and while I'd sometimes noticed attractive guys, I'd never acted on it, never even really considered what it might mean. That changed on a Tuesday night in September. I came home from work completely wrecked. I'd taught 6 training sessions, including one with a client who'd insisted on doing an advanced HIIT workout despite my warnings. My back had seized up during the last demonstration, and by the time I got home, I could barely move without wincing. Theo was in the kitchen making dinner, something with garlic and herbs that smelled incredible. "Rough day?" he asked, glancing up from the stove. "Brutal," I groaned, dropping onto a kitchen chair. "My back is killing me. I think I pulled something." "Want me to take a look? Professional opinion." "Would you? That would be amazing." He wiped his hands on a towel and came over, having me stand up and do a few movements. His hands were clinical, professional, pressing along my spine and shoulders with practiced precision. "Yeah, you've got some serious tension here," he said. "Nothing torn, but your muscles are completely knotted up. When's the last time you got a proper massage?" "Like 2 months ago. I can't really afford to go regularly." He was quiet for a moment, then said, "I could give you one if you want. I did sports massage therapy before I switched to general PT. I'm good at it." I hesitated. Something about the offer felt significant, though I couldn't say why, but my back hurt and Theo was a trained professional and we were friends. It was fine. "Are you sure? I don't want to make you work on your night off." "I'm offering. Besides, I can't watch you hobble around like an old man. It's painful to witness." He smiled. "Let me finish dinner, then we can do it after. You should probably lie down on your bed. I'll need a flat surface to work properly." After dinner, I changed into gym shorts and waited nervously in my room. I heard Theo moving around, then a knock on my door. "Ready?" he asked. "Yeah, come in." He entered carrying massage oil and a towel. "Okay, lie face down on the bed. Take your shirt off. I'll need direct access to the muscles." I did as instructed, suddenly hyper-aware of the intimacy of the situation. This was my roommate, about to put his hands on my bare back. In my bedroom. Why was my heart racing? "Just relax," Theo said, his voice calm and professional. "Tell me if anything hurts or if the pressure's too much." Then his hands were on my back, and all thoughts fled from my mind. His hands were warm, slicked with oil that smelled like eucalyptus and lavender. He started at my shoulders, working the knotted muscles with firm, practiced movements. It hurt at first, that good hurt when tension releases, but gradually the pain transformed into something else. Relief, relaxation, and then, something I wasn't prepared for. Awareness. I became acutely conscious of every point of contact, his palms pressing into my shoulder blades, his thumbs tracing the muscles along my spine, the warmth of his body as he leaned over me to get better leverage, the sound of his breathing, steady and controlled. "You're really tense here," he murmured, working on a particularly stubborn knot near my right shoulder blade. "Try to breathe through it." I tried, but my breathing had become shallow. My body was responding in ways I didn't understand. This was supposed to be therapeutic, clinical. So why did every touch feel electric? Why was my skin hypersensitive, responding to the drag of his hands with something that felt dangerously close to arousal? Cameron, you okay? His hands paused. Am I hurting you? No, I managed. It's good, really good. He continued, moving lower down my back, his hands confident and sure. I closed my eyes, trying to focus on the pain relief, on the medical aspect of what was happening, but all I could think about was Theo. His hands, his proximity, the way his voice sounded when he gave me instructions. This was wrong, I was straight, he was my roommate, this was a massage, nothing more. So why did it feel like so much more? Okay, Theo said after about 20 minutes, his voice slightly rough. I think that's good for tonight, don't want to overdo it on the first session, how do you feel? I sat up slowly, hyper-aware that I was shirtless, that there was massage oil all over my back, that Theo was standing very close. Better, much better, thank you. No problem, he wasn't meeting my eyes. I'll, let you clean up, see you tomorrow. He left quickly and I sat there on my bed, my heart pounding, trying to understand what had just happened. The next few days were awkward. Theo and I avoided each other, making excuses about work schedules and early mornings. When we did interact, we were overly polite, careful not to let our hands touch when passing dishes at dinner, maintaining more physical distance than usual. But my back felt incredible. The pain that had been constant for months was gone, and despite the awkwardness, I found myself thinking about that massage constantly, replaying every moment, every touch. Thursday night, I came home to find Theo on the couch, watching TV. Hey, I said cautiously. Hey, he muted the TV. Cameron, we need to talk. My stomach dropped. About Tuesday night, the massage. He ran a hand through his hair, looking uncomfortable. I shouldn't have offered, it was unprofessional, I crossed a line. You didn't cross any line, you were helping me, as a friend. Was I? He looked at me directly for the first time since that night. Because it didn't feel like I was just helping a friend. Cameron, I need to be honest with you about something. Okay. I'm gay, have been since I can remember. And when I moved in here, I thought I could handle living with a straight guy who looked like you. I thought I was mature enough, professional enough that it wouldn't be a problem. He laughed bitterly. But then we became friends, real friends, and somewhere along the way I started having feelings I shouldn't have, feelings that made offering that massage a really bad idea. I couldn't breathe, Thea. Let me finish, please, I need to get this out. He took a deep breath. That massage on Tuesday, it wasn't just therapeutic for me, and I'm pretty sure you felt it too, the tension between us. So I need to know, do I need to move out, because I can't keep living here feeling what I feel if there's no possibility of. He cut himself off. Just tell me what you need, I'll respect whatever you decide. My mind was racing, everything he'd said was true, I had felt something intense and confusing and completely unexpected. But what did that mean? I don't want you to move out, I said slowly. But Theo, I'm not gay, I've only ever dated women, I've never. I know, that's why this is so complicated. But, I continued, forcing myself to be honest, I haven't been able to stop thinking about that massage, about you, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if it was just the physical intimacy of the situation or if it's something more, but I think about you constantly and that's never happened to me before, with anyone. He stared at me, what are you saying? I'm saying I don't have answers, I'm confused and scared and completely out of my depth. But I know I don't want you to leave, I know that whatever I'm feeling, it's real even if I don't understand it yet. Cameron, can we just take this slow, figure it out together, no pressure, no expectations, just honesty? I can do that, he said quietly, if you're sure. I'm not sure of anything except that I need to explore this, whatever this is. Over the next few weeks, Theo and I entered uncharted territory. We really talked about sexuality, attraction, identity. He told me about coming out in college, about the relationships he'd had, about what it meant to him to be gay. I told him about my past relationships with women, about the times I'd noticed men and dismissed it, about the confusion I was feeling now. Sexuality isn't always binary, Theo explained one night over dinner. You might be bi, you might be on a spectrum, you might be straight with one exception, me, or you might discover you're more gay than you thought, there's no rush to label it. But what if this is just curiosity, what if I'm experimenting with your feelings? Then you tell me that and we stay friends. Cameron, I'm going into this with open eyes, I know the risks but I think you're worth it. We started small, sitting closer on the couch during movies, letting touches linger, testing boundaries. Every interaction felt charged with possibility and fear. The first time we held hands, we were walking home from dinner. Theo's fingers brushed mine, and without thinking, I intertwined our fingers. He looked at me, surprised and hopeful, and I smiled despite my racing heart. "This okay?" I asked. "More than okay." We walked the rest of the way home like that, hand in hand, and something in my chest loosened. This felt right, scary but right. 2 weeks after that first conversation, Theo gave me another massage. This time we both knew what we were doing, what we were testing. I lay on my bed shirtless as his hands worked the muscles in my back. But this time there was no pretense of clinical distance. This time his touches were slower, more deliberate. His hands explored as much as they healed. "Cameron," he said softly, his hands pausing on my lower back, "can I ask you something?" "Anything." "What do you want from this, from us? Because I need to know if I'm reading this situation right or if I'm projecting what I want onto what's happening." I turned over, sitting up to face him. We were close, his hands still resting on my waist, my heart pounding so hard I was sure he could hear it. "I want to kiss you," I said. "I've wanted to kiss you for 2 weeks, but I'm terrified, because if we do this, I can't pretend anymore that I'm just confused. I can't go back to thinking of myself as straight, and that's scary as hell." "We don't have to." "But I want to," I interrupted. "God, Theo, I want to so badly. I think about it constantly. I think about you constantly. And maybe that makes me bi, or maybe it means I'm gay and have been in denial my whole life, or maybe it just means I'm attracted to you specifically. But whatever it is, I need to know. I need to know what this feels like." "Are you sure?" Instead of answering, I leaned in and kissed him. It was nothing like kissing the women I'd dated. His lips were firmer, his jaw rough with stubble, his hands gripping my waist with a strength that was distinctly masculine. But it was also better than any kiss I'd ever experienced. It felt right in a way nothing ever had before. When we pulled apart, we were both breathing hard. "Wow," I said. "Yeah," he agreed. "Wow." "I think I'm gay," I said, the words spilling out, "or bi, but definitely not straight, because that was Theo, that was incredible." He smiled and it transformed his entire face. "Can I kiss you again?" "Please." Coming to terms with my sexuality was both easier and harder than I expected. Easier because being with Theo felt so natural, so right. Harder because I had to rethink my entire identity, my entire history. "I was attracted to those women," I told Theo one night, trying to make sense of it all. The feelings were real, but looking back, there was always something missing. A spark that I thought was normal to lack in long-term relationships. But with you, the spark is constant, overwhelming even. "You might be bi," Theo suggested, "attracted to different genders in different ways." Maybe, or maybe I was performing heterosexuality because it's what was expected. I don't know yet, but I know I'm attracted to you, and I think to other men too now that I'm letting myself look. Coming out to others was terrifying. My parents took it badly, lots of tears from my mom, silence from my dad. My sister was supportive but confused. "You dated Sarah for 3 years, she said. "You never seemed unhappy." I wasn't unhappy, but I wasn't fully happy either, not like I am now. My friends had mixed reactions. Some were immediately supportive, others drifted away, uncomfortable with this new version of me. A few made jokes that stung more than they probably intended. The hardest part was coming out at work. As a personal trainer in a hyper-masculine environment, admitting I was in a relationship with a man felt like professional suicide, but I was tired of hiding. "I need to tell you something," I said to my boss. "I'm in a relationship with my roommate who's a man." She blinked. "Okay, Cameron, I don't care who you date as long as you show up and do your job." "Really, that's it?" "Did you think I was going to fire you? We're in LA, not, I don't know, somewhere less progressive. Besides, half our clients are gay. They'll probably be thrilled to have a gay trainer who understands their experience." She was right, most of my clients didn't care. A few requested different trainers, but new clients specifically sought me out. I'd worried for nothing. 6 months into our relationship, Theo and I moved from being roommates who were dating to being actual partners. We combined our belongings, turned the second bedroom into a home office, and started building a life together. It wasn't always easy. We had fights about household chores, about my tendency to avoid difficult conversations, about his occasional jealousy when I talked about my past relationships with women. But we worked through it, learning to communicate, to compromise, to be partners in every sense of the word. I never thought I'd have this, I told him one night. A relationship that feels easy and right, where I can be completely myself. Even the parts of yourself you're still figuring out. Especially those parts, because you're helping me figure them out. You're patient with my confusion, supportive when I'm scared, and you love me even when I'm a mess. You're not a mess, you're someone who's brave enough to question everything you thought you knew about yourself. That's not a mess, that's courage. I proposed a year after that first massage. We were back in my bedroom, our bedroom now, and I'd asked him for another massage as a pretense. You know what happened the last time you asked me for a massage? Theo teased as his hands worked my shoulders. Yeah, my entire life changed. No regrets. Not a single one, but actually I do have something to ask you. Oh. I turned over and pulled out the ring I'd hidden under my pillow. Theo Martinez, would you marry me? He stared at the ring, then at me, his eyes filling with tears. Are you serious? Completely. I love you, I want to spend my life with you, I want to keep figuring out who I am with you by my side, so what do you say? Yes, he breathed, obviously yes. We got married on a beach in Santa Monica, surrounded by the friends and family who'd stuck with us. My parents didn't come, but my sister did, standing up as one of my best men. Theo's entire family flew in from Texas, his mother crying happy tears through the entire ceremony. I never thought I'd get to do this, Theo said during his vows. Growing up gay in a small Texas town, I didn't think marriage was in the cards for me. And then this beautiful, confused man walked into my life. Well, technically I walked into his apartment and turned everything upside down. Cameron, you've taught me that love doesn't always look the way we expect it to. That sometimes the person you're meant to be with comes from the most unexpected place. Theo, I said during my own vows, a year and a half ago I asked you for a massage. I thought I was asking for help with my back pain, but what I got was so much more. You helped me discover who I really am. You were patient while I figured myself out. You loved me even when I was scared and confused. And now I get to spend the rest of my life with you, continuing to discover who we are together. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. 2 years after that first massage, I sometimes think about the version of myself who walked into that bedroom, thinking he was straight, thinking he knew who he was. That person seems like a stranger now. I'm not that person anymore. I'm Cameron, a gay man, or maybe bi, I'm still not entirely sure, and I've learned that's okay, who's married to the love of his life. I'm someone who had the courage to question everything about myself and rebuild my identity from the ground up. Do you ever miss it? Theo asked me recently. Your old life, the certainty of thinking you were straight. Never, I said honestly. That life was comfortable, but it wasn't authentic. This life, our life, is real. It's scary sometimes, and it required me to lose some people and relationships I valued. But it gave me you, it gave me myself, and that's worth everything. People ask me sometimes how I went from being straight to being in a relationship with a man. They want a simple answer, a clear explanation. But the truth is, sexuality is complicated. Identity is fluid. And sometimes all it takes is the right person at the right moment to help you see yourself clearly for the first time. I asked my roommate for a massage. What happened next changed everything, but not in the way you might think. Yes, it led to a relationship, to love, to marriage, but more importantly, it led to me finally understanding myself, finally being authentic, finally being happy. And it all started with a simple request and two people brave enough to be honest about what they were feeling. 5 years later. It's been 5 years since that massage. 5 years of marriage, of growth, of building a life together. We still live in LA, though we've moved to a bigger apartment. I'm now a manager at the gym, working with other trainers and building programs. Theo opened his own physical therapy practice, specializing in LGBTQ+ clients who want a safe space for their healthcare. We're talking about adopting, about starting a family, about the next chapter of our lives. Remember when you were terrified to kiss me? Theo teased last night as we cooked dinner together. I was not terrified. You were absolutely terrified, you were shaking. Okay, fine, I was terrified, but can you blame me? I was kissing a man for the first time. admitting to myself that everything I thought I knew about myself was wrong. Not wrong, he corrected. Just incomplete. You weren't wrong about being attracted to women, you just hadn't discovered yet that you were also attracted to men, or at least to me. Definitely to you, I agreed, kissing him softly. Always to you. My life didn't turn out the way I expected. Thank God for that, because the life I have now with Theo, with our community, with my authentic self is better than anything I could have planned. All because I asked my roommate for a massage. And because he was brave enough to be honest about his feelings. And because I was brave enough to explore mine. Sometimes, the best things in life come from the most unexpected places, from the moments when we're vulnerable, confused, and open to possibility, from the courage to question what we think we know and discover what's actually true. I asked my roommate for a massage. What happened next changed everything. And I wouldn't change a single thing. The end.